Well, the Honolulu Quarterback Club really is proud to present Nick Rolovich, head coach.
Winner. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. 71 years, pretty good. When I got the award from you guys, I still got it up in my office. People walk by and they go, "What is that?" I said, "Well, we just get good awards from there, and still going." So awesome! Thank you guys for that. So a lot of stuff going on. I'll be better with questions. We'll do a spring wrap up. So we did spring ball earlier before spring break. It was a little different for the university. What I found out was, you know, basketball's still going on, women's basketball's still going on, baseball's starting. So there was a little bit of a stress on all the support staff. So I appreciate their help trying to get it done. They weren't used to it. It was always let a couple of those sports finish, then we'll do spring ball. But I think it was good. I think now we get a month of our players. All they got is weightlifting and school. So really challenged them. I'd like to see us get a 3.0 as a team. I think that that hasn't been done since they've started to keep records. And I asked our faculty athletic rep, you know, because I know our graduation rate is better than the general public, but I wanted to know their GPA, and theirs is just right at a 3.0, the general public in the school. So I said, let's make that our goal and see if we can do it. So that was no curve. But that was part of the thinking. Another part was, you know, April 15th begins the spring recruiting period. It goes from April 15th to May 31st. We get 168 days out. And so our plan is April 15th, I believe, is the Sunday. So the 16th will be the first day we go out. The first week we will hit all the local schools on island. We split the 27 schools up with our 3 coaches, Chris Nolly, Craig Stutzman, and Jacob Yoro, our new hire. So they're kind of the umbrella in charge of their 9 schools. Let me back up. So when I got the job, I said, when we were at McMacken, everyone had like 2 or 3 schools, right? I felt like there wasn't a whole lot of consistency in who the coaches were dealing with. And so last year I said, okay, Chris and Stutz, we'll split it up half and half, and at least there's a consistent go-to person. The one suggestion is getting more of our coaches into the local schools. So with Jacob Yoro's arrival, we did it in kind of 3 columns, but underneath that, you know, all of our coaches are going to have some responsibility at some of the local schools on island, which will, for the guys like Pense Henson or Langi Suyanoa, guys who are kind of, and you guys all know, they're after a year, they're kind of getting into the culture a little bit more, right? They're understanding a lot. Getting them paired up and dialed in with some of the local coaches, I thought was a good move. And some of that came from people in the public. They recommended that we did more of that. So basically, we got 3 coaches in charge of the island, but every coach is going to have 3 or 4 schools on the island that they will be responsible for. Head coaches cannot go out in the spring recruiting, so I can't go to any schools. So my plan was, okay, I got you, I can't do it. Well, I'm gonna go have lunch with Wendell Say over at Aiea Bowl, you know, right off campus. Or go, you know, I had a schedule to meet all the coaches for lunch right near their school, so it's easy for them. And I kind of got in front of them. Well, I found out that's illegal too. You can only send 2 coaches into a school at a time. Let's back it up this way. So each school can only be seen 2 times in the spring. So we're doing the first week and the last week. We want to be the first ones they see and the last ones we see. But if there's an offensive lineman at Kailua, you know, I kind of wanted to send 3 or 4 guys over to that one. But every coach that goes counts as a day. So the maximum you can do is 2 coaches at a school in the spring. But that would mean we'd only be able to go that one day. So we're going to go 1 coach to every school during that first week. And then you guys are going to go to the mainland and we're going to go to Australia. I think we've got a kicker lined up in Australia. And then everyone's going to hit their areas. And then Chris will hit Big Island, Kauai. Stutz will hit Maui. I think we're even going to send Chris over to Molokai to see if there's anything over there, that just to have a presence over there also. So, and then we'll come back after all the other schools have come in, and then we'll kind of follow up with the local schools on island. That's kind of the plan for spring recruiting. It's also given our coaches a little bit of chance of professional development. So last night, Coach Lange, Coach Joro, Coach Duggan, all flew out to Michigan to meet with Lempa and Don Brown. Don Brown kind of developed the defense. And this was, you know, it's not entirely Lange's defense. He's made some tweaks from Lempa, and there'll be some different looks. But to Lange's credit, he says, Coach, if I can go, you know, I have questions that I don't know the answers to yet, and I'd like to go to the source. So, you know, through Nicole, we're able to fundraise and get them over there, which is going to help us. Coach Henson is also on that flight. He's going to spend 1 day in Michigan, and then he's going to go up and meet with the Detroit Lions for receiver play. Stutz and Coach Smith are leaving tonight for USC to watch 2 of their spring practices and sit in on meetings. Then myself and 2 GAs will be going down to LSU to meet with Dave Aranda. And not just Dave Aranda, you know, but they hired a guy from Pitt to be their offensive coordinator. And we've watched all his film, and he does some things that give people problems. So we got myself and the GA going kind of for the offensive part of it, and the recruiting kind of organizational part of a huge program like that, and then another GA going for to sit with Aranda. So that'll be a good opportunity. Welcome.
Oh, who's here? Hi. You guys join us or what? You're just going to sit in? You gonna join us? Yeah, sorry.
No, you're okay.
Okay.
Okay, summer camp.
I got a seat open over here.
Easy.
He doesn't put us on level anymore. And then
Summer camps, okay? The NCAA has had, the last 2 years, there's been a lot of controversy on the satellite camp idea, okay? And the satellite camp idea is basically you get 2 15-day windows in the summer. And most people put them together so it becomes a month of June. And every one of those days you can go to or hold a camp at your school. Satellite camp will allow guys to work camps in Australia. We worked a camp in Las Vegas. We worked a camp in a bunch of camps in California, in Utah. It really became another kind of recruiting period for everybody. But what started to happen is these outside, you know, organizations were starting these camps, and they're making a ton of money off these kids. And so I think the NCAA is trying to stop that. So what they're going to say now, and they're voting on it pretty soon, is you can only work 10 days of camps, and it can only be on a university's campus or where they play. So we could have an Aloha Stadium or a UH. That's what we're anticipating. That's what the rest of the country is anticipating the ruling being. So every Division I school